On the economic side, there are very high quality retail merchants in Pioneer Square. I'm not a retailing expert, but I spent the last 25 years working in business districts, and at least I have some sense of the clues about good merchants, and the quality of their inventory, the quality of their display, the way that customers are approached when they go in the business, are all the little clues for a non-retail expert like me about the quality, and real high quality merchants there. And the interesting thing is it's unusual to have a business district like this that has, we would be lying to ourselves to say that there weren't kind of social issues walking on the streets, but at the same time have those and have those readily apparent and still have a very high level, high quality of retailers. I'm extraordinarily impressed with that. The North Lot development, it's going to take place. When it takes place, it will have a very significant positive impact on the neighborhood, and it will take place when the market allows it to take place. And that's kind of all that needs to be said. It's a right decision for the city and the neighborhood to kind of make the negotiations for it to take place. It'll be great when it happens, and that will be when it happens. Many of the existing problems, and many, frankly, Nancy was nice enough to send me half a dozen newspaper stories over the last 6 months or so. And I'm not picking on anybody in this regard, but many of the existing problems in Pioneer Square have nothing whatsoever to do with Pioneer Square. Hey, the world is economic chaos, and nobody is immune to that. And a whole bunch of the issues that people are kind of saying the sky is falling about, none damn thing you can do about it. It is just universal, international problems, and it's going to be a while working themselves out. This issue, and I'm glad you mentioned it, because you and I are certainly on the same page on that. This issue about independent, locally owned business. It is extraordinary. I cannot overstress the importance of that and maintaining that in a place like Pioneer Square. And I'm not against big chains and that stuff, but on two grounds. One, it is the independent, local merchants that add to the sense of character of the district, number one. And number two, there is, from an economic development, this is no kind of flag-waving, buy local stuff. From an economic development perspective, dollar for dollar, the dollars going in the cash register of a local merchant or a national chain, and the dollars staying in the local community, incredibly more if that's going through that locally owned cash register than it's going through the Target's cash register or something else. Hugely different. So both from a kind of neighborhood character and an economic development basis, that maintenance of those locally owned businesses is extremely important. And again, for those of you who were there Monday, you heard me say it, but all the discussions with all of you just reinforced it this week. In neighborhoods where it's relatively small landlords, they might own, Samus owns 10 buildings, most people own 1 or 2, but where most of the landowners are small scale, and most of the merchants or businesses are small scale, there is simply not enough room for them to be adversaries. You have to figure out strategies so the landlord and the tenant are on the same side of the transaction, or both of them will suffer. And that's a real challenge in the best of times.